So I've got a jar of water with me just aside of me here. I'm holding my liner brush and I've got some burnt umber. I'm using it on the same plate basically. Burnt sienna, so burnt umber, burnt sienna and a small amount of black. See that? And then what I need to do is add water to it, so I'm thinning it down with this water. Thin it down a lot. And then when it's somewhere near the consistency that I'm wanting, what I'll do is I basically clean off the brush totally because that's overloaded now. And then I know that I've got the right colour in there, and I'll just run my brush through that colour and it'll keep the end of your bristles quite sharp. So with that, I'm just going to go up into here and have an area where a little trunk's going to come down for this tree, and I'm thinking about there somewhere. So it's going to start off quite thin at the top and have sticks and twigs that come up to these branches and then come down and then get slightly bigger as it comes down. There. But these don't want to have no highlights on them. They're pretty much really just in the dark. These. You can have really small branches and have some bigger ones. I like to have a bit of everything going on with these. And then same up there, we'll have some branches coming down. Even up in here, I want to show the odd area where you will see some sticks and twigs just holding this lot up. There. Same underneath. Have the odd part that's just showing through, and then it'll come and join to that. So I made it slightly thinner than I wanted it to be, knowing that I could always make it wider. Right, so that's cool for that one. Whoop. I'm happy with that. So I'll just get a little bit more of that colour, and I'll put a few little branches just up in there. Need a bit more water to that, so it flows that little bit better. And then, see that? A few little dark sticks and twigs going in there. Now we've got a big tree up here, and it comes straight down and it goes behind this bush. So don't bring it too far down. And then with that, come along and put some little details in, little branches, and if it don't flow for you, you've not got enough water, always keep adding water to the mix. You can see there, it's so runny, it'll actually run down the palette. So thought I'd do something coming off at that angle. There. Some lovely little details in there for these background ones. You get a lot of sticks and twigs in these trees. You can't really ever paint too many on them. You always end up never painting enough. That's good. And once this is dried, I'll put a few little leaves just over the sticks and twigs here and there. Now there's a little bit of something just coming up there. All this stuff will be in the background, you see. Loads and loads of little sticks and twigs. Again, we've got another one that comes down through there, and then maybe another one just outside of it. But what you do then is you just go up, put some like branches in, turn them into little trees that are in the background. This is what's holding all this up. And I love to do this, I really do. It's so much fun. You get a tiny bit more black into that, just so that it's got that contrast. Some more water, keep it nice and runny. And then just over here, I'm going to leave that for now. And so just over here, I'm going to have a tree that comes right off at canvas. Basically, right off there. And it's actually going to come right down through there. You need a lot of paint when you're doing this. It's got a fatter trunk on it as this one. Quite a bit fatter. Don't make it perfect and straight. Have a few little twists and turns in it. You generally do tend to see that. And that's just with the liner brush I've done that. Just with a straight liner. And I want to bring that right down. To there. That's it. Again, you need that water in there to make it thin. Keep that in your mind at all times. Now we've got some big branches that come right off. They come all the way over here, so I'm just going to plug that in first and aim where I want it. If you get too much, you can actually wipe it off with your fingers. So drag a few off of it, give them some little limbs. Same up in there, drag that and bring it to there. Just treat your tree like a skeleton when you're doing this, and then that's what's holding up all these leaves. And we'll put some extra highlights for these leaves as well. You get quite a lot of stuff going on. I think these are like beech trees or something of that nature. I want it to be a slight bit fatter as it starts. And then it thins off towards the end. Even up there though, make sure that you paint them in. All different diagonal angles all over the place. And then when you come back over, you'll be surprised at the effect. These are actually going a bit higher, just over to there. So that's from there. I need to mix some more paint. I'm trying to paint without paint, and that, as I said before, just doesn't work. There. You'd be surprised how much water you need to make this flow properly. Right, that should work for me now, perfect. I want it to actually go down there and then work its way up. loads and loads of little branches. One coming over from that angle. Just out there. And the contrast between these is great, it really helps. But they are literally just dark brown colour. You get less leaves actually up in this top area. Less branches, sorry. There's not as many, but there is still some there, and I'll indicate some leaves going up to them. You know, on the top of them. I'll just indicate some. Same on top of that. You don't have to always have a fine point either. You can just do them like so, and then when you come back, you'll be going over that. You just leave a little bit of it showing through. So that's going to come down there. Two thinner ones on the end. Loads. Same up there. Need lots of this going on. Actually, one coming up there as well. Nice. Now, I'm just going to get a big amount of water to that so I can do a full stroke right down, and then just in here I want to bring another smaller one from there, bit of a funny top on it. Rest on your hand if you like, if it helps and gives you stability. And it contrasts so well with what's behind. That's what we're aiming for. And this is exactly what it's like. No highlights on these at all, on these trunks. On the ones we put in the foreground, you start to see a bit of highlight. These must be in the shadowed areas, while all the leaves are getting hit. And again, I just want to start at the bottom this time, because I want to get a lot of pain. I'm just going to come from the bottom and work my way up. I want this to have two separate branch offs. From the branch off to the right, over there. To the left over at this side. Just enjoy it. Really do want a lot going on though. Right, now just in the background area, here and there for some of these you can put some indications. They only just stand out, but they will be there. Even up in here you can just now and again just create the indication there's some little sticks and twigs that are going on in the background further away. Same in here, just behind. Same up in there. And the same down in here as well. So we've got a few little ones coming up from that, little sticks and twigs that have just snapped off and broke. Been a bit windy for them, I think. Cool. Now I just want to get some little branches on that. Keep playing backwards and forwards. Just going to use my big fan brush now. I'm going to go through the browns with a little bit of that black. Again, the same good old dark colour, but these are going to have a highlight on them because they've just moved out into the sun of these. There's one that comes down here, it's quite a big one. You've got to be brave, this is your bravery test. You've really got to be brave to do this now. Looking good already, and you feel, oh, I don't want to destroy it, but I tell you, this will really make it. And if you thin the paint down, it'll flow a lot better and you'll get nice edges. See that? You'll get a lovely edge and you'll get to do it all in one stroke without having to fight against it. Something about like that. Be much bigger, and then just while it's wet I run one side through the white, and then with that just going to come in here. I'm going to stick a highlight on that one side. See that? Just on that one edge all the way down. Turn it over and you can do the other edge all the way down. And then what I do is I use a clean brush and I just gently blend in the centre of that, so it makes it look 3D, makes it look rounded. See that? I'm just blending in the centre, in the dark area, and it'll blend from light to dark then with the highlight. That's what I wanted. So you see how they've got a bit of a highlight now. You can come over anywhere that you've missed. Just in there I needed to come a bit more to that edge. Smart. Do the same thing over here. Straight dark colour. First of all, both sides. Get some water to it so it's going to be slick and wet. So you can see there, pulling straight through the dark, and then I know that I want another big one, which is going to actually come in here and come a bit further down. Comes at a slight angle towards that edge. And it is, again, it's not huge, it's middle ground size. Something like so. Again, one side through the white, and pull down from there all the way down that side, highlighting that one edge. Now the other side wants to stay dark, so I'll just put a little bit of colour in that edge and keep it dark behind. Whoop, I had a bit of paint drip off there, not a problem. Clean my brush. I'm just going to use the yellow on the sponge now. Just the yellow, and then just here and there I'm going to actually come over the top of little areas of these branches just to make them look a bit more 3D. Same up in here. It's a good way. If there's any that you dislike slightly, just do it over them. But these up in here all have some going over the top of it, even the trees in the background. Love it. Now up in here I want to put some little yellow leaves for these trees. That's it. And they'll still stand out. They'll still be there. A lot of fun. It's a real ton of fun, is this. Same with them in there that I popped in. Just put some little highlights on them. Like it. Happy. Now I'm going to put that down. Back to my fan brush again. I want to paint a tree that comes right through into the foreground this time. It's going to come right through into the foreground. I'm just getting some brown black on my brush. Same as I did do with the others. Only difference is going to be closer to us again. So there'll be even more highlight still on this. So we're going to put one in that comes right through here. There's some rocks down in this side. Bit of water to it, as I said, to make it flow a bit better. But it's quite a lot bigger than what's behind. And then just on the base, paint that like so. There we go. Now that wants to be quite a bit wider, so I'm going to bring it into the foreground. It's going to more or less come through to about there, I think. It's going to have a big root system on it. You know, like that. Just done that to give myself an indication. So it wants to be about a fan brush width. A nice sharp edge. There. And then with this I'm just going to get some white, and then I'm just going to come in there and highlight one edge all the way down. First I've highlighted the right side, and then you paint behind it like so, and it'll mix with the wet acrylics that you've got up there. Neaten it up slightly. There. Now I'm going to get a bit more of that light and turn the brush over and do the opposite side. That side. All the way down. Try your best to get it right on that edge. That's it. Nice one. And the leaves for these are going to be coming from above, right over all this really lovely red leaves that this has. Happy with that. I'm going to just use that same paint. I'm going to try to get myself a thinner one, maybe just in here again, that comes further forward. So maybe somewhere there. Not a really thick one though, this. Going right over the top of that one, I point it back round. I want this to come further forward. I want it to come to about there. Again, if this stops flowing for you, I'd just say to you, just add more water. It will work for you if you add the water. There. Into white. You just stick a highlight all the way.